IAIA processes, the integration of artificial intelligence into environmental management and enhancing EIA practices across Africa through digital innovation. At the most recent IAIA conference, Dr. Adegboyega co-presented a research paper developed in collaboration with colleagues from the University of Bologna and Algebra, Italy, on implementing, and the topic was on implementing AI in Nigeria's EIA processes. He also featured as a speaker at the side event with topic AI in Permitting Systems 5.0, organized by IAIA Italy. Please, let's welcome our presenter, Dr. Lawal Adegboyega. Dr. Lawal Adegboyega, you have the floor now, please. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, indefatigable Vice President of the Association, and a very good evening to us all. Thank you very much for finding time to listen and join this webinar. Bringing you greetings from the Environmental Assessment Department of the Federal Ministry of Environment, where I am broadcasting live. It's a great privilege and honor to be able to attend this conference this year, and as well as the last conference at Dublin last year. And I appreciate those that made it happen by way of word of encouragement and push and monetary and the rest of them all. So it is a collective effort, and I'm glad that I'm going to be sharing some of my experiences. I remember speaking with Engineer Inena. We were together at Bologna, and I said that with the level of information I gathered from this conference, I'm sure I'm going to charge for spilling the tea out to anyone. But here we have it. We are speaking and we are talking about this experience. And I believe somebody somewhere will find it very useful and will help pilot our own work to a different level, and also enhance our productivity and also enhance the way we practice impact assessment so that it will be in line with global best practices. I have a slide which I'm going to be sharing to guide me so that I'll be guided. I don't know if you can see my slide. Is it okay? I think it has come up now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so most of you have been hearing of IAIA, is the International Association for Impact Assessment. And most of you have been wondering what they do and what is it about and what is actually their objective and what is the benefit in joining IAIA and in joining the association. So I'm just going to be sharing some little insight. I'm sure a lot of participants connected in this chat might have a lot of more experience than me and a lot of more areas. So my slide is very, very short so that we can have people contribute and ask questions. From there, we can also learn, and I can also broaden my own knowledge in the process. So I'm just sharing one side of my own experience. I'm sure that if you read up IAIA.org, you get a lot of information about them. So just have some slides on the pre-conference activities. Those are things that you can start working on, because you might feel that it is too expensive or it is too large a dream or a thinking to be at IAIA 2026 in Quebec, Canada. But believe you me, it's something that once you set your mind to, that you can get it done. I can give you that assurance based on the fact that I have tried it and I'm here sharing my own experience. So I'm sure that someone else will be able to be inspired by this presentation and prepare without having any doubt in your mind that you can be able to put resources and things together and get it out. So conference activities, the conference important date, financial aid opportunities, and opportunities within the conference, and also photo reel. I put some photos together from the conference, which I took to my camera. I took a camera alongside there, so I took a lot of pictures, and we have question and contributions. By the way, IAIA 2025 had 1,043 attendees from 83 different countries. So imagine having a conference or a sitting whereby you can be able to interact or have a direct interface with members of 83 countries. That is as close as you might get to United Nations conference. And we have 127 technical sessions. So it's a tug of war to know which of the sessions for you to join. But you just have to choose one or two at a time because they all run concurrently. We have close to 422 presenters, including 40 posters. I took pictures of a lot of posters that I was thinking I'll look at afterwards, and I'll be checking them. There are some that are very, very interesting that you might need to just speak to the author and try to see how you can follow up on them. 12 pre-conference training courses. I have 20 sponsors. And this is how it has been increasing as the year goes by. I think last year in Dublin, they recorded 1,000 plus attendees, which they said is the largest. But now by 43, this is more, this is close to what we had at Dublin. So it testifies to the fact that those that attend a particular year conference will be interested in attending another year conference. So it just keep increasing and increasing. So before you get to the time of going for the conference, that's the time that we are in now. You can also join some activities that will put you in the right direction and put you in the right place to be well positioned to attend the IAIA conference in Bologna. So you can, by the way, join a research group because it is more of paper presentations and learning from paper being presented, and from research and from ways in which researchers share their research findings and ensure that people learn from these research findings and make contributions and improve on those work. And at the end, we all go back better still because our profession, our sector impact assessment is a research-based activity in terms of developing an environmental impact assessment study and also reviewing those studies. They are based on research works and research outcomes. So you need to familiarize. So you can join some research group or collaborate with other researchers. You can look them up on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on the website, and indicate interest that okay, I'm interested in your research work. I would like to give you an insight to what or a perspective from my own country, Nigeria, and they will be very, very excited to improve their research work by having a third-party insight from another country. Is something that every researcher is looking out for. So this is where you can also form an alliance and a group towards IAIA 2026. Also familiarize yourself with the conference funding requirement. Now, there's going to be need for you to register, and early bird registration is more cost effective than the late bloomers, and other payment in terms of technical site visits, maybe for technical visits in the country, courses, training courses, and maybe dinner and other side events and side activities. You need to just understand where they are and see where your priorities lies and how you can get this done. I added this line, get your passport ready. We in Nigeria, we know how it is to get a passport. I started getting my passport my passport expired October 2 years ago. So I had to start over 6-month period before I can get it's renewed. But in some cases, you can get it within a month or two if you have your way around it. But you just have to get your passport ready in time so that you can begin visa application in good time. Also, you need to count your cost. Prepare a rough estimate of the required cost. Some of these costs might be, you might be able to meet them up by meeting with colleagues, bosses at work, bosses, other sponsors within nation, Nigeria and outside. And other ways, we'll still be talking more about how we can get more funding and more funding, because I self-sponsored myself, and so I might need to share some clues in which I was able to achieve play that fit as a major civil servant with not much high quality wage. So you have to do your research of who you want to meet before you get to the conference. When I was in the IAIA Dublin conference 2024, I got to understand that you don't just go to these conferences without being prepared. You have to have understanding of who I want to see. So when you see the person passing, oh, hello, Mr. Gary, I love your work. I am a fan of your research on so thing, and I'd like to know more. The person will be very, very excited to share more. And before you know, you're already friends. Tomorrow or in another conference, when you meet with the person again, you become acquaintances, and from there you know how the from there you can take it off from there. So conference important dates. Some of these dates, especially the month, they are sacrosanct. They remain almost the same across each year. So for training course proposal, this is one area in which I feel that maybe in the next coming IAIAs, I will be personally interested in leading some training courses. So most of the times we see courses being carried out up in Nigeria, in some other climes, and it's something that we all can do. You can collaborate with some instructors. I think a colleague at World Bank spoke about how he's going to bring in SPACE Center of Excellence. There are some schools that offer SPACE courses to also put in for some of these training courses, which will be able to enhance their capacity. This is a way you can earn in dollars or pounds now. You can earn in dollars or pounds, offering or delivering a training course in IAIA. Guideline for session proposals. This is what we have been looking out for in our own research group, which is the IAIA African Forum that we created to see how we can enhance our participation. So you can have a session that is tailored towards a particular theme and a particular area of study. And this session, they are very, very good, and something that can also help portray some areas. So paper and abstract submission, those one comes around September of this year. Preliminary program registration around October. Registration payment deadline for presenters. So if you're presenting and you're submitting your abstract since September, and I think by October, November, you start getting reply that your abstract be accepted or so. Then January is the deadline for registration if you are a presenter. And registration closes by April, and most part of the year, almost every year, the conference starts around May. So that picture is a picture of we having lunch after one of the group, the classes, the lectures within the rooms. So we come down, have tea, juice, and snacks. I'm sure AAIN conference is going to be something like this very soon. All right, so for financial aid opportunities, this is something that I feel we should all pay critical attention to, because there are a lot of opportunities to sponsor participants to IAIA conferences. And if you take time to read more about these sponsorship programs and read their requirements so that you can tailor your application or your response to their requirements, I'm sure you stand a good chance of being selected. I, for one, have applied twice in 2 years for this capacity, these stipends, but I've been lucky not to get it, but I'm sure I'll still try again this year again. But so keep trying. I'm sure that someone within us will be very, very lucky to get one of these stipends and get one of these scholarship to enhance his participation. So, but I benefited from the student-specific opportunities. I am a student, although I'll be convocating very soon. So I made use of the fact that when I was still doing my PhD program, I make use of that opportunity to register as a student. So student registration is very, very, very discounted. That is registration for the conference. And if you register as a student, it's not going to be very obvious. You are still going to get the same tag that a member registered with, a full member registers with, and you get all the whole uh, uh, opportunities and what comes with registration, even as a student. And there's a training course waiver for students. I applied for the training course waiver this year, and I was very, very lucky. I got a training course waiver fee. So I attended a training course at IAIA 2025 free of charge. I did not pay close to $400 that was put on that particular training, but I got it free. I got the same quality that other people got, but I ensured I participated more because I needed to get more from that class. So this is something that we can put in for. You can follow up with the announcement, like let's say a month to I like say towards March, April, that is when you start getting training course waiver, and towards October, November, that is when you start bringing up the financial aid opportunities for you to apply. This was one of the pictures they took were caught in with Dr. Alonge and Dr. Tokumbo from the York State University. All right. There are opportunities within the conference, diverse opportunities within the conference, a lot of opportunities within the conference, I guarantee you. I've been immersed in a lot of those opportunities, and I've still not scratched some large percentage of it. I'm still within the periphery. There are still a lot of discussions that we are still talking at the background with some of the participants on how we are going to roll out some activities. So it is highly engaging. So networking opportunities is something that is very, very massive in that particular building. Like this picture is a picture of my training class where I sat with, and we had 2 days training with people from different countries, and we have merged into discussion groups. So we had to now know ourselves more from this discussion group, from talking with ourselves, interacting with ourselves. And lucky for me, some of my friends that I met in the last IAI, those are Netherlands Commission for Environmental Assessment, most of them were in my own class. So the director of the NCEA and the rest of the key staffs were all group members working together. So that particular bond made it very easy for us to form a bond that is close, that is different from participant bonding, but classmates. Can we call ourselves classmates now? I don't know if that's allowed. So there's opportunity for knowledge sharing. It's very exciting when people are giving their own perspective and you just raise up your hand and you just bring out a different direction, and they're like, wow, yeah, wow, that is great, that is awesome. And from there, they are endeared towards you. They ask you more questions afterwards, exchange numbers, exchange contact, and you ask them that, what are you working on? How can I be part of it? And this level of conversation goes a high goes a high direction. Most people come because they are looking for job opportunities. They're looking for European job opportunities. So they have the mindset of who I'm going to meet, maybe Royal Asconi or maybe Total, maybe World Bank, whatever. So they go directly to those people and they merge them. They walk towards those directions. So looking for job, looking for maybe supervisors for PhD, for masters outside Nigeria, looking for international opportunities, even looking for jobs. A lot of consulting firms that pitched their tent within the postal segment. They interacted with other key players outside Nigeria. Let's say, for example, you're an environmental consultant working in Nigeria. Now you met with Royal Asconic. It's an international firm that has their own. They are probably based a lot in UK. So now, with your strong prowess in Nigeria, having them in UK, with the discussion with them, forming an alliance that, okay, we can help you with any outreach of jobs. Maybe you're working with a developer. Because most of the developers in Nigeria, most of the proponents in Nigeria, they are from Europe, they are from Europe, they are from Italy, they are from Germany, they are from UK. So most of these consulting firms have worked with those people out there in Europe. And when they expand their portfolio to Africa, they will need to have an African-based consultancy. So most times, Nigeria-based consultancy form collaborative alliances with international-based consulting firm, and that alliance has expanded their reach and expanded their coverage out of Nigeria into international spaces. And you don't know, in Malawi, for example, in Ghana, for example, they have in Zambia and Zimbabwe, their markets are emerging. Yeah, it's a growing market. So it's a growing market, and it has a whole lot of potentials. Like Benin Republic, for example, being francophone, we have a huge market in terms of environmental awareness. So these are areas in which you can only know when you get to that particular forum. So collaboration is the mainstay of this conversation. Whenever we get to you, it's collaboration. You can build your personal growth and build your confidence. I, for one, before now, I can't speak out in the public. I'll be fidgeting, my hands will be shaking, my legs will be shaking. But since the first time in Dublin, I stood up and I was just speaking and I was just enjoying myself, making them laugh and laughing at the same time, trying to ease my stress. With time, we have built confidence over time, and we are still building confidence over time. So opportunities around the conference is just immense. Now, for the sake of those that will want to learn a lot about what happened in IAIA 2025, these are some of the key valuable themes. These are the summaries from the season chairs, because each season chair is going to bring up their own summary from their groups. So number one, these are the outcome of IAIA 2025. AI is a valuable tool, support tool, but human oversight is non-negotiable. Now, this is a particular discussion that has been consistent in most of the rooms, that you cannot take the human part of a human out of AI. AI can enhance speed and precision, but ethical judgment, context, and accountability must remain human responsibility. So the story is that keep the human in the loop. We're not taking out human, but we're enhancing human capacity by bringing in speed and precision into impact assessment. Number two, talked about biodiversity and climate monitoring are rapidly evolving. So now, for EIA consultants, EIA practitioners, government regulators, and other key players in the EIA and the impact assessment space, there are new technologies that are being deployed, like drones, GIS, that are enhancing how well we collect data. So this is a known fact. It's not something that is rocket science anymore. So it's now left for you to enhance your own particular activity, relate with how you can get and enhance your workspace by leveraging on technologies. Now, number three talked about real life public participation must stay central. I think this came up again in my own presentation of my own paper, talking about the implementation of AI in EI process in Nigeria. Talking about the indigenous way in which we do public participation and consultation. You cannot leverage, you cannot limit it or take it away from, take the public gathering, especially imagine the EIA done in the South, whereby you have to have communities physically present to bring up their views. Then you now tell them that they should maybe join virtually, or she should fill a survey. That is a recipe for disaster. Number 4 talked about equity and access are critical for responsible innovation. So there's need to close the digital divide and co-develop tools, that is with indigenous people, everyone in the process of development, not skewed to a direction. Number 5 talked about standardized, high quality, accessible data are critical. This cannot be overemphasized. Data needs to be high quality and needs to be usable. Some data we have in our report nowadays are not usable because they are contained in PDFs. They are not. They are in books. They are in sleeping format. They are not in format that can be extracted or manipulated or visualized. So there is still a long way to go in terms of data collection and data databasing. Now, capacity building is a need and an opportunity. We have a high level capacity gap. That is why most times we have issues with listening to AI, because we don't even understand what it means. Even I, for one, I'm still learning. So there's need for us to there is need for us to invest in capacity building, especially for our staffs and for our team members, so that they can be in tune with what is there in terms of AI and digital impact assessment, not only AI, but digital impact assessment. So there are a lot of other areas that we can also look at. So I also have a picture reel. I'll just share some pictures. Please can mute your mic. Okay, thank you, sir. So this is some pictures from the IAIA conference. I think you can recognize some faces there, just for us to understand they have a feel of what happened within that space. This is one of the rooms that we gathered. This is our Ghanaian counterpart and their team. They presented a paper and they led a forum. And this entire team is a team of I think they are environmental consultancy firm in Ghana, and they are leading environmental consultancy firm. They sponsored, they led a session, and they presented paper within their own session, and they took charge of this section. And this section was one of the African-based section that most of we Africans were able to relate with. So we flooded ourselves within this section, and it was this section that we said, no, we need to have more sections like this. Thumbs up to our Ghanaian IAIA counterpart. That's the secretary of IAIA Ghana and other colleagues within them that brought the room up to make us excited in that particular room. So there were a lot of sights and sound. These are the launch periods within the IAIA conference. This is Dr. Ahmed Sanda is a session chair and led some discussion. And those are some of our IAIA members. And your phone will get filled up with a lot of inspiring quotes within different presentations that stays longer in your mind even as this presentation goes on. This is one of our members also. This is the World Bank Social Development Officer, Mr. Tosin. Is also supports the SpaceX project and the RAM project. He presented his own paper on the practice of artificial intelligence for social impact assessment ethics. That is Mr. Tosin presenting his paper. And also, okay, this is for low budget people. You can have hostels. This is like where I stayed, very low budget, but very cute and clean and nice. That's the hostel within Bologna, where I stayed because I was on low budget, of course. So there are a lot of interesting topics. And the food also is something that we cannot take out of it. I think some of my colleagues will remember this particular rice that looked like a rice, but at the end, it was half done and half done, whatever was there. But it's salad, rice salad. So these are part of the experiences. The experiences are not just within the experiences are, sorry, it's not done. Okay. So I'll just leave the pictures to just move. So some of the, and we had to uh, prepare our own food at a point in time. This is our chef, Mr. Tayo of EMS, and behind that is AEPP. So we're having a collaboration between consultant and regulators, because the food over there, we had issues getting satisfied with the food. So thank God for for Tayo. Tayo always come prepared for any IAIA programs. He brings his own Nigeria foods. He brings his own semo, and his own stew, his own soup, and his own food stuff. He come prepared. So this is another clue and that tip that we should take note of whenever you are going for IAIA programs. Just try to target where Tayo is staying and try to get closer to him. So Tayo made us feel at home by mentioned us with one of his delicacies, and we had some Ghanaian colleagues that also joined us and also joined us in the feast, and it became something that we continued. This is Mr. Tosin from the World Bank. We had to co-opt him into when we told him about the fact that we have semo and egusi. He had to follow us to the room to get some for himself also. And it was very exciting, and at least it helped us bonded and help us enjoy the stay also there. This part of the participant from AIN, these are our friends from Ghana, and that's Ghanaian Energy Commission. They joined us for Semo at the point. The next day they went for their own shopping and brought it to our own room and cooked it there so that we can also have a feel of how Ghanaian spaghetti and jollof. We had to find a way to balance the Ghanaian and Nigeria a rivalry on cooking, but it was a truce because we all ate and we're happy. And those are one of those key areas and that we enjoyed ourselves during the conference. This is a overview of the opening session. The hall is fully packed, and we have some Italian artistic display of music and art. And it was a very, very awesome collaboration. That is Engineer Tlau and engineer from EMS. I've forgotten his name, sorry. Also, we have these are people from Ministry of Mines. Our colleagues from Ministry of Mines, we found them there and we took pictures. So a lot of collaboration. So there are a lot of poster sessions and these are ExxonMobil at their exhibition point. So this is exhibition point at that point whereby you can be able to meet with exhibitors and also relate with them. There's a lot of this Royal Asconin is a international consulting firm. These are Italy-based consulting firms and EPAs of different countries, EPAs of Hong Kong, and a lot of posters from different research from the World Bank, from modeling software, people trying to bring up, sell their software, sell their IT solutions. And the poster was just global impact assessment that's University of Liverpool. Biotope, a lot of people you can engage with and you can form alliance with, you can speak with and ask them how well they can help you, and they were willing to help. That is Dr. Alonge quizzing one of the innovators on how their software works. And this is the newbies, new members forum, whereby new members get to do like a speed dating. You sit down and you go around tables and introduce yourself and get to know yourself and get to know others also. I think these are things that we can put into our AEIN conference. These are committee chair. That is when I was receiving certificate for the training course and some of the things that we learned. Strategic thinking for impact assessment is a very, very whole lot of thinking and brainstorming. And that's me presenting at a side meeting with IAIA Italy and my own paper presented during the conference. So it's a whole lot of the whole lot of experience that we cannot sum within presentation, but you can just try and do much. But you can check more of the pictures online. You can check more of the reel. There's ongoing nomination for award for 2026. You can vote for me. And I love this particular uh, uh, quote from a presenter. Say, artificial intelligence won't replace humans, but humans who use AI will replace those who don't. This is what I speak very well in my office when they call me AI. I say, humans that does not use AI will be replaced by AI. I hope that does not happen. So that is like summary of what we're looking at. Next year, we're looking at for misinformation and communication. That is the theme for next year and IAIA, and I wish we all prepare and plan towards IAIA26 so that we can have more participation from Nigeria. And thank you very much. So I'll be available for any question. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lawal. I was actually looking at the semo and soup. You guys abandoned me. But anyway, that's all for good because I had to stay back to attend to other things while they went to enjoy this semo. Anyway, on the lighter mood, I had mine just beside the hall. There's a Nigerian cuisine, so it was nice. Okay, thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. It's self-explanatory. Everything we were able to take it in, the experience as we are just unfolding the whole stuff. I believe every one of us were able to feel one thing or the other. But then there is a catch. It means that we have to bring it home. Whatever we get from outside is for us to bring it home, domesticate it within our own confine of understanding so that our implement, so we don't just carry everything and come verbatim, but then our culture is a key role or plays a key role in what we do. Thank you very much. Just a little recap for those of us that joined us late. For your information, we don't waste time in AN. Anytime we have webinar, once we start, we start. So thank you for everyone that joined early. He started by telling us that we should get our passport ready for Quebec 2026. It's going to be in Quebec, Canada. So get your passport ready, know the cost. So you have to go to the website of IAIA.org and get to see what it takes. Then know what you are going for. Are you going there to have fun? Are you going there to meet people? So be intentional about your trip. Then you'll be able to check out the opportunities that you need in getting funds. Like he has shared how he was able to, he sponsored himself and he shared how he was able to get some funds and also shared with us some areas, financial aid opportunities that are there and how he was able to leverage on the student-specific opportunities, you understand? And again, I want us to know, we sometimes, let me not use we Nigerians because we have other people on board. When you are registering, they may want to identify you if you are actually a student. So just have that in mind when you are trying to fill as a student. And of course, as a student, he was able to get a training waiver, which also I was able to get. It was my first time of attending the conference on training. Last year, I didn't participate in any training. So, but this year I enjoyed the training and I'm hoping that next year I will go for another training on ESG. So that's how it goes. So he also mentioned opportunities within the conference that you could leverage on, or maybe you're going there for networking, knowledge sharing, professional development, collaboration, or personal growth. Then, of course, we have the key session takeaways. So we would like you to share with us that key session takeaways. We'll put it on the platform for people to really, at a glance, get to know what happened in Bologna, Italy. Then, of course, the interesting part is the side bonding, where, of course, jollof rice and semo and the rest got to bring the Ghanaians, and to the point they were trying to do kind of competition. But I promise you, next year we are going to do jollof rice. So we are going to compare the Ghanaian jollof rice, Kenyan jollof rice versus the Nigerian jollof rice. And I promise you, by God's grace, I will be there and I will show you how the Nigerian jollof rice tastes. And we should be able to form alliances. And he was able to give us the topic for next year, meaning that we should be ready to present some papers. Let's come together as we've already started for the African continent, where we will have a session to address issues that have to do with Africa, basically, which is on misinformation and communication. Thank you very much, Dr. Adegboyega. This is a laudable one. So now we will be open for questions. We have like some 15 minutes to leave here. If you have a question, kindly raise your hand. While we are waiting for hands to be raised electronically, I want to appreciate the first female president of Association of Environmental Impact Assessment, my boss, Professor Ijoma Vincent Akluma. You're welcome. Shall be posting on the platform.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well done, my project supervisor.
Okay, your project supervisor. Thank you, ma'am. And last year in Dublin, I shared her room. It was so heartwarming. So you see, when you open up, you cannot have it all. She was like, you come. The room is there. And it was really nice. You know, we had pictures, things we didn't know about each other. We were able to develop that bonding. And she remains my boss, right? Thank you very much. So, okay, we have a question from, thank you, ma'am, Humanity First. Unmute yourself, please.
Hello, good evening. My name is Tokumbo. I'm Dr. Tokumbo London. My question is about the call for sessions, and if one has been made, and how we need to ensure that when we're submitting our papers, we submit to that particular session. If it's an African-focused session, then let's ensure that once the acceptance is done, then we can go in there and support that particular session and ensure that our papers are submitted to that session. Because my experience in the recently past one, I had a session, but people didn't quite sign up to it. And so it was collapsed into another session. So it would be nice if we get an African session and we don't have a sizable number of papers, signed up to that session. It will be collapsed into perhaps one of the international sessions.
Thank you. Dr. Adegboyega, you can answer them. Prof will be able to guide. He has been session chairs for years. Over to you, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tokumbo. It's good to hear from you. Your signature cap is something that I'll go and look for so that we can be on that same level. So it's a very your point is very, very apt, and you are very, very correct. We're already working on the session and the title, and to know how they are going to couch the title. And trust me, within our group, I'm going to share some of the ideas so that we all will be carried along. Thank God the deadline is 28th of July, but I'm going to wait till then. We're going to use this week to couch the title. And as I said earlier, within the group, Professor Thomas Fisher is interested, and also this Lone Koon, that is the Danish Center for Environmental Assessment, and other Netherlands Commission on Environmental Assessment, and some other. They are interested to collaborate to help us and to work with us in developing a paper. And we're going to create that session within this week or next week and share with us so that we can have a title that can be African based. and can be able to fit into improving EIA or impact assessment practice within African region. It's not going to be a Nigerian thing. It's going to be something that we'll be having from Ghana, South Africa, Tanzania, Malawi, all the whole African countries to be able to bring up their own voice and have that area where we can sit down and talk about things that actually concerns and affect us as a continent. So we are on speed with that particular suggestion you made, and we'll be sharing with you as time goes on. Thank you, sir. It seems Damnina is already off. Uh, 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 Prof. Joma, I don't know if you have anything to say. You have led some sessions, and I'm sure that we're going to leverage on your experience in moving on with this.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Lawa. Yes, in IAIA, there are so many sections that are being submitted. Like we're planning the African section. That's nice because if we put it, most of us from the African region will send papers to it. Then another thing they leverage on is a section. Like most times I chair the agriculture, fisheries, and forestry section. And we always propose a section on it. And there must be a guaranteed paper for it. So we usually use that. So it's either you have a paper that you have a section that people will send in papers, or you are under guaranteed section. We have so many co-chairs for different sections. So if you submit paper for that, there's always a guarantee that it must be accepted. So that's why it's always there. So working as a group, sending papers will guarantee the section being accepted. So these are the two ways you can get it.
Okay, thank you, Ma. And thank you so very much. Dr. Adegboyega, please. Because we don't have much time, we would like that by the 4th of July, the African session would have concluded with the theme, and you can now post it for those that want to make their paper presentation so that they would be guided just to follow suit with what Prof has said. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yes,
because
okay.
they will need like 10 days so that we all submit before that 28th. Thank you very much, Doctor. Any other question, please? Can you electronically raise your hand? If there is none, I want to appreciate everyone. I may not be able to call your names, but we really, really appreciate your presence. And we look for, if you want to join us on the platform, I don't know how many of us are on the platform, AN platform, so that we put you there and you'll be getting information, or the African session platform. Any other question, please? It's like my president happens to be on another assignment. I've not seen him. Okay, in the absence of further question, I want to say thank you all for making it today. And in the next 14, 15 days, we'll be having another webinar. So maybe in 1 week, 5 to 6 days time, the flyer will come out, and we hope that you join us, and we believe that the weather will be good to us. I want to say thank you, Dr. Adegboyega. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And for the vote of thanks, Madam Past President, I indulge you to give us the vote of thanks as we close. Thank you, then.
Thank you, Engineer Nena. You're always putting me on spot every time. I want to thank everyone for joining. I'm so happy for this webinar, and I hope that more people will join us to IAIA conference. It's always good to meet and collaborate with others. Thank you, everyone that joined. Thank you for your contribution to AEIN. And we know that with time, more things will happen, both for our profession, and individual development. Everything will work out fine. Thank you for joining, and thank you, Engineer Nena. Thank you, Dr. Adebayo. Thank you for the good work. Nice one, nice one, nice one. Thank you, everyone, and
Thank
have a
you.
good
Thank you
evening.
so much. Thank you. Have a
Thank you
wonderful
very
evening.
much.
Good night,
Have a
all.
nice day. Good
Bye.
night.
Take
Yeah.
care.